Learn Excel from Mr. Excel Podcast, episode 2030. Replace nested if with VLOOKUP. I'll be podcasting this entire book. Click the eye in the top right-hand corner to get to the playlist. Hey, welcome back to the Mr. Excel Netcast. I'm Bill Jellin. All right, this is really common with either a commission program or a discount program or a bonus program where we have the tiers, different tiers, right? If you're above $10,000, you get a 1% discount. $50,000, 5% discount. You have to be careful when you build this nested if statement that you start at the top end if you're looking for greater thans, or at the bottom end if you're looking for less thans. So if B10 is greater than 50,000, 20%. Otherwise, another if B10 is greater than 250,000, 15%, and so on and so on and so on and so on. This is just a long and complicated formula. And if your table's larger, back in Excel 2003, you couldn't nest more than 7 if statements. We're almost near the limit here. You can go to 32 now. I don't think you should ever go to 32. And even if you're screaming, hey, wait, what about the new function that just came out in Excel 2016, the February 2016 release with the ifs function? Yeah, sure, there's less parentheses here and 87 characters instead of 97 characters. It's still a mess. Let's get rid of this and do it with a VLOOKUP. All right, here are the steps. You take those rules and you turn them on their head. First thing we have to say is if you had $0 in sales, you get a 0% discount. If you had $10,000 in sales, you get a 1% discount. If you had $50,000 in sales, you get a 5% discount. $100,000, 10% discount. 250,000, 15% discount, and then finally anything over 500K gets the 20% discount. All right, now, lots of times, every time I'm talking about VLOOKUP, I say every VLOOKUP that you ever create is going to end in false, and people will say, well, wait a second, what's the true version there for anyway? It's for this very case where we're looking for a range. So we're looking up this value. A regular VLOOKUP, of course, comma 2, comma false, will not find 550,000, is going to return the NA. So in this one very special case, we're going to change that false to a true, and that'll tell Excel, go look for the 550,000. If you can't find it, give us the value that's just less, so it gives us the 20%. That's what it does, all right? And this is the only time your VLOOKUP table has to be sorted. All the other times with comma false. It can be however you want. And yes, you could leave the comma true off, but I always put it there just to remind myself that this is one of those weird, incredibly dangerous VLOOKUPs, and I don't want to copy this formula somewhere else. All right, so we'll copy and paste special formulas. All right, next complaint. Your manager doesn't want to see the lookup table. He wants it, just get rid of that lookup table. All right, we can do that by embedding the lookup table. Check this out, great trick that I got from Mike Girvin at ExcelIsFun. F2 to put the formula in edit mode, and then very carefully select just the range for the lookup table. Press F9, and it takes this table and puts it in array nomenclature, and then I just press enter like that. Copy that down, paste special formulas, and then I am free to get rid of the lookup table. It all just continues to work. Down the road, this is a huge hassle. If you have to come back in and edit this, you have to really stare at it with lots of clarity. The comma means we're going to the next column. The semicolon means we're going to the next row. All right, but you could, in theory, get back in there and change that formula if one of the numbers changes. All right, so using a VLOOKUP instead of a nested if statement is tip number 32 on our way to 40 greatest tips of all time. You can have this entire book. Click that eye in the top right hand corner. $10 for an ebook, $25 for the print book. All right, so today we're trying to solve a tiered commission, bonus, or discount program. Nested ifs are really common. Watch out, 7 is all you could have in Excel 2003. Today you can have 32, but you shouldn't ever have 32. So when do you use the approximate match version of VLOOKUP? This is it. Take that discount program, turn it upside down, make it into a lookup table starting with the smallest number and going to the largest number. VLOOKUP, of course, won't find the answer, but by changing the VLOOKUP to comma true at the end, it'll tell it to find the value just less. This is the only time the table has to be sorted. If you don't want to see that table out there, you can embed it in the formula using the Mike Girvin trick. F2 to edit the formula, select the lookup table, press F9, and then enter. All right, well, hey, I want to thank you for stopping by. We'll see you next time for another netcast from Mr. Excel.